Hit start? Not? Yeah, you did.
Forget to start.
I'm here for the technical support, apparently.
There it is. All right. Okay. Sorry.
There we are. We're live now.
Redo.
Tonight's After Dark is hosted by me, Captain Justin Fitzik from the USS Umicak, Senior Director for After Dark. We are joined tonight by Brigadier General Jeremy Karsten, Region 3 Coordinator. Admiral Kimberly Donohoe, USS Yorktown. Colonel Tim Johns from the USS, I'm going to let him say the ship's name.
Umicak.
Thank you. Lieutenant Commander Gregg Kleiner from the USS Dauntless. Fleet Captain John Hardy from the USS Essex. And Lieutenant J.G. Drew Maeurer from the USS Haven. Sorry for the late delay, folks. I forgot to hit a button.
That's all right.
You in charge. Let's see how that is.
Yeah. So,
nobody got to see that I was late, though. That's a cool thing. Nobody saw that I was late.
Yeah.
You just told everyone you were late.
Yeah.
Nobody saw it, though.
So how's everybody's week been going?
Busy.
Thank God
Very
tomorrow's
busy.
Friday.
Yeah.
Well, that was short-lived.
I get to have the oil change tomorrow on my day off. So
Look at you living loose there, Kim.
Always excitement here at Donohoe House.
Good evening, everybody. Mike, Fran, Dan, Jason, Stuart, Foley. Everybody, if you don't get a chance, give Stuart Foley's YouTube a check out. He runs the Trek Yards YouTube channel along with him and another gentleman, and they do various Federation ships. They do all sorts of ships.
I knew that name was familiar.
I'm a subscriber.
I am too.
I'm a subscriber, but I only log into YouTube quarterly because then I lose an inordinate amount of time checking on all my subscriptions.
Right.
I just lose a day to YouTube.
If not more.
Thankfully, certain things like going to bed eventually, passing out, makes a hard reset on the YouTube viewing.
Right?
Bed's overrated. Who needs sleep anyways?
I do.
Sleep when you're dead. Let's just put
I
it
think
that way.
I think I've slept more in the past 2 weeks than in my 35 years of existence.
What is your secret?
Get COVID.
Oh, yeah, and I don't want that secret.
But on the good news, I have no sense of taste or smell, so
Well, that didn't take long.
We
need new material, bro.
Well, we can't call Steve for a good time because he didn't pay his bills.
There's one in every crowd.
Do we have any questions from the?
If they did
panel?
that to me, Tim, you would be busted down to E1.
Kim for commander.
No.
I know that there's women off, so I'm not even going to say that one. So
I don't have the temperament.
I think I respect Kim too much. I
We'll
wouldn't do
just
that
throw
to her.
Sour Patch Kids at Kim and everything will be okay.
No.
So I know it was asked when you posted the show, Justin.
Yes.
And I told the guy I had him on the question. What's going on with the database?
Yeah. Let me just.
We're basing it on other data.
I got the answer for you right here.
I'll take Fleet Admiral AMA for 400, Alex.
And the answer is, this project will be done soon.
I don't know if it was ever alive enough to become a zombie. It was just some weird boarded feature.
It's certainly, and having my personal sentiments, it's just the last, I forget what it's called. It got posted. It's the report of all the departments. And it's just the last couple issues that came out. Computer operations, there was no
The fleet status report?
The fleet status report. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And it's just computer ops, no report received. Why aren't we hearing anything? Like, I know it's being worked on. I know we're trying not to poke the proverbial bear, but it's just like, I get it dealing with the academy because I'm so heavily involved there. Like, everyone's like, when are we going to see our grades? And I'm like, well, we're waiting to hear what's going on with the database. Like, you know,
I don't think we have an EC member on, so I'll try to pretend to talk about the other side of the aisle. But
I know you.
Just knowing Tony, Tony's been working really hard. I don't think Tony's allotted enough time in his schedule of doing things in his volunteer hours and work of also writing a report. And so I know that the CS Steve gets a lot of his stuff verbally from Tony when Tony calls him. So it's like he gets updates. So there are updates, and it's just like, who writes it down on the phone call that I had with the guy that's actually supposed to talk to the VCS, so it goes into the fleet report. And the fleet reports are important. I'm not trying to, I think he's calling them tours of duty now instead of
that's what they're tours of duty. That's what they're being
whatever the label is this week. And they're coming out regularly, which is for the first time in ages. I kind of understand, and given his particular situation, yes, everyone's very eager about the database, but he's the one guy that's going to be working instead of typing to tell you about it.
Right.
So, let me say it from somebody that's done like technical stuff before though too, and done like web design for school and stuff. When you have one issue and you're trying to fix that one, it could take months and months for that. You can't just say, hey, still work on this issue, still work on this issue. It just sounds redundant after a while. When there's something new to update, then he would give it out. In my opinion, is why he doesn't put anything out for that.
Fair, but I've learned from, just watching and reading the Facebook posts and comments and how everyone is. It's just like, I feel like people would just want to hear something rather than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, those people that are going to hear something are going to be more pissed that they're not getting told more. So I mean, it's a double-edged sword. Some people are never going to be happy.
The people that are looking for answers to are generally going to be the same exact people. Most of your rank and file folks have no awareness of how bad our database is, or even that we're pursuing another one. I would say a good half of my crew does like, what? I mean, there's a sizable chunk of people as an RT I can go in and figure out when's the last time someone logged into the database. But guess what? A lot of members go through their career without once logging in.
Don't get me wrong. From an academy standpoint, I'm dreading the day when the database goes live because that's when I feel like students, don't get me wrong, I love the fact that students are so engaged, but just like students are going to be like, I took the test 12 minutes ago, why isn't my grade online?
Right.
So it's just like, I'm like happy it's still being worked on, but at the same time, it's just like,
I mean, what's it going to change for anybody on how quick, the stuff gets on there? I mean, you still get the diplomas for each class. I mean,
some people it's just seeing it there and knowing that other people can look at it, like their CO and XO.
What's old is new again. Keep your own records, kids. Act like this is the 90s. We're getting that shit in the mail. 42nd class.
Oh my god, I remember that. I remember my first
when you had to wait in the mail for your OTS and OCC certs to come in before you could launch a chapter. Like that was a thing that existed.
When you wanted to change a chapter, that was the best paperwork.
I never played that game.
I did once because the chapter I was on was just like, and I switched, and it was just like, oh my god, you have to mail it, you have to get it signed and sent back, then get it signed again, and then thank God when I moved to the Dauntless, it was all electronic. I'm like, thank God.
So I know we saw earlier. Definitely. There's a lot of people, the academy and all over the org that do a ton of stuff behind the scenes that don't get their song sung.
Absolutely.
One of our goals this year at the academy, and I'm sure I can say this, if not, TJ and Jill will kill me tomorrow, which is fine. We're looking to have 80 to 100% of our courses be QAM or something that you don't need to like download and email us answers. We're looking so that way you register for a course, you can do all 20 questions in Moodle, whether it be multiple choice, fill in the blank, or whatnot. We're looking to have 90 to 100% of our courses set up that way.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that makes a lot of sense because I mean, if
It really does.
some of them are tough, like College of Starship Design. I'm the assistant director of that college. That one's a very tough one to have multiple choice or like the blanks. But it's just like, you know, I'm director of math. I'm assistant director of Cardassian. We're working on making all of these more accessible.
Well, and then
Well,
like
how
some of the
far
ones
would
that
it be?
require essay questions, of course, you need someone to actually put eyeballs on content.
And I was just about to ask, how hard would it be to add an essay question to one of those
It wouldn't be able to be graded easily, though.
Well, no, with an essay question, it would be tough to have it in a QAM format. Like I know Cardassian, and it's purely because I'm on the couch and not in my office because the couch is comfy and I'm tired. But I forget which course it is that is actually an essay response. So that would be very hard for a QAM. That would be something you would need to. Sorry, my cat's doing the 3 a.m. yard meter dash now at 11:14 p.m. And just whack his head off the wall. But it would be hard to do with QAM because I feel like that's something that you should read, see if the student actually grasps the concept of what we're asking in that course. Whereas, you know, QAM, you say it that A is the answer, you submit B, it's going to tell you it's wrong.
Strum, your question, I don't believe anybody here can answer that question directly. I'll put it up and see if somebody has an answer to that. But
probably I haven't heard from Brand this week, just in idle chat, so maybe he's under the weather.
I haven't heard of any delay at the help desk. I know somebody.
I haven't.
But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised because I don't think I've talked to Brand this week.
I mean, you know, the same thing that, you know, yes, I just gave Tony, you know, crap, but, you know, again, we're all volunteers. Give a little bit of leeway, but, you know.
Yeah.
You're right, Mike. You are absolutely right. I mean, I inherited mathematics and there were some errors, and I was just like, oh, okay. I'm sorry about that. I had no idea. I'll take care of that right away.
Math.
Sometimes when you're looking at the same thing every day,
Some of my wife's
Let's
courses,
look over and missing errors.
you know, but Kim, we actually just put out it's a fun math course where it's like Star Trek math. So it's like, what subject did Catherine Janeway love in mathematics? And you have to like look up that answer. So it's like, it's
Well,
fun.
that's different.
Yeah, like we're not like, you know, I'll speak to my course. It's like, we're not trying to make it,
Fun math.
you know, the
No
math.
algebra.
No, we're not trying to make it like the math that third graders are learning now. Like I was helping my nephew the other day, and like 2 times 2 is 4, but no, the new way they want you to do math is like this much longer, and I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Common Core.
Why?
Every time that
Some schools
I have to
don't
do
know.
math, I
and,
pull out
for some reason, my math has never worked. Common Core.
the trusty cell phone, and then I hear my third grade teacher's voice in my head. Not like you're going to take a calculator everywhere with you. I'm like, ha ha! I have a
Right?
computer.
Exactly.
Right.
And if I don't know how to do it, I'll ask Google.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how something a teacher says will stick with you?
Oh.
When I had driver's ed, I remember Coach Carter, who was like this big burly man, and we'd have to go pick up equipment and stuff. We always ran errands for him in your driver's ed. And I went around this curve and I put my hand in it, the steering wheel. And he said, don't do that. You put your hand on the outside and cross over. Don't ever stick your hand inside in case you have to turn back quickly. And so now, well, that was a long time ago when I took driver's ed, but I still hear his voice every time I turn a corner.
Was it were you driving manual or automatic, Kim?
Oh, automatic. They didn't teach manual in school, but I knew.
I've actually never learned manual.
All right,
I think
it's like the fourth time it's been asked, Jeffrey. There's been a coup. We're putting John Hardy in charge. He's the new CS director. All questions to him.
No way.
Steve is actually hogtied by Amber. We'll never hear from Steve again.
Put a ticker up there. Steve has no internet.
Yes.
Steve forgot to pay the bill and has no internet.
Be glad you don't. Wrong one. Be glad you don't.
Wrong one.
Because I put something like Steve got lost in the hub and just leave it at that.
There you go.
Steve got lost in the database.
But he ran out of quarters.
The
Except for the
transporter room,
malfunction.
like, filtered everything through the database, so he's lost.
Lost in the matrix.
What are you doing?
Who?
My cat.
Oh, I thought you meant me.
Not if you made it all the way to the water finally, huh?
I had something funny happen this week.
Yeah?
Yeah. For those that don't know, I'm from the South. I'm from Tennessee.
Couldn't tell.
Would never guess.
You don't say.
I thought you were from Massachusetts.
No,
All right.
I thought you
But
were from Columbia.
my husband is from Queens, New York. The other day, after 16 years of marriage, being together almost 18, he actually said, Lord of mercy, which
But
was a
he
big
said it
shock.
in a New York accent.
You're rubbing
No.
off on him, Kim.
No, he didn't really change his accent because he kind of has where he was military for so many years, his accent is sort of neutral. That's the best way I can say it. Once in a while, the New York will come out when he says coffee. He says it coffee, you know?
Coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee.
But when he said, Lord of mercy, I stopped. I said, I can't believe you said that. He goes, what? And I said, the metamorphosis is complete.
Okay.
So when he says, bless your heart, I'll really know. But I just thought that was funny.
My mom does that, and I'm just looking at her going, you are not from the South. You are from Salem, Massachusetts. Where the heck did you get that?
Well, it really started out as, it's
So
actually
she
a
probably
concern.
doesn't say it ironically like the South does. If someone says, bless your heart in the South, you have been cussed out.
Right?
I know if you say how nice, that's kind of a cuss out.
Yeah, that's like the step below.
When I say bless your heart, I mean it sincerely. But
when Kim says how nice, that's when you know.
Right, or you say that's nice, and inside your mind you're saying bitch or you bastard, But you go, that's nice.
Just imagine Kim's reaction if he actually says fair to Midland.
Wow, I don't know.
You made Kim speechless, Justin.
Oh, don't let Jess Stuckey hear that.
Kim, remember the last show we were on together? We were talking about the handbooks that I bought. The Deep Space Nine one's coming out Tuesday.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
So I just picked up. This is my latest one.
Nice.
And it's kind of like, remember the Star Trek magazine and everything, and they've released them beforehand. But it's just like now Deep Space Nine's coming out, which is my favorite. Deep Space Nine will be my favorite series always.
Absolutely.
Because somebody posted something on one of the groups. Which one would you want to be stuck on for the rest of your life? Like the 1701, 1701A, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and I'm like, Deep Space Nine always. That's a big station.
I'd like to be on that and have a little shop,
Yeah,
I can see you having a little fruit stand on the promenade.
Exactly.
Right next to the Klingon guy that sings opera with your meal.
Oh yeah.
I could see Kim having arguments with Quark.
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
I'd have a little boutique with like little oddities from all over the galaxy.
I'd lose money. I'd be in the Hollow Suites a lot.
That I would too.
Yes, you would, Sid. You'd be cleaning them.
Only if I'm making.
Hold on.
Somebody posted that the other day. It said,
You and Nog.
If you were in the holodeck and you had to use the facilities, would it disappear or where would it go? You know.
No, it'd be called a
I
poop
don't
deck.
want to know.
Who else caught up on Discovery?
I am not caught up on Discovery, but it's okay. Talk about it.
What's the spoiler rule on this one?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Everything tastes
Yeah.
like shit, right? That's just going to become your next sandwich on the holodeck.
Oh,
Absolutely,
the amount of
canonically
chance that
confirmed.
there's pause on that one.
What's Kim making?
But
It's
here's
my
the
water
thing.
bottle.
Your fandom to draw.
I don't know the way you shook
Oh!
They
it.
cancel everything out of the holodeck to make your food. If that's
Right.
the case, Lord, there's going to be a lot of protein sandwiches out there.
It's got crushed ice in it, and if you don't shake it, it stays in a lump at the bottom.
Oh,
Yeah,
good
that's
one,
why-
Tim.
Her vodka was getting warm and she needed to shake it up.
Right?
Yeah, I've got one of those shake weights. You know, no, this is just stainless steel.
I just got Diet Pepsi.
I do have a shake weight actually, but you know.
Running low on the White Russian.
I'm drinking.
Oh, I haven't had one of those in so many years.
Since I have no sense of taste, I'm drinking the peach pear seltzers because I can't taste
So
them.
now's the time to do the stupid hot chip challenge and things like that, right?
Right? Well, my friend
Oh,
owns
God,
a
yeah.
brewery. My friend owns a brewery, and he gave me some beers that I already knew I wasn't gonna like. So I'm like, I'll just drink them because it's rude, but I can't taste them, so they probably taste like shit. Who knows? But they were given to me, so I'll humor him. How were they? They were great.
If you ate hot peppers or something, you'd still get blisters though, just because you couldn't taste it.
Probably.
Well,
I mean, I don't want to try.
levels here, but I mean, just impress your
Chris,
friends.
Mike, thank you
Hot
for your
sauce
service
challenge.
to the
Yeah,
country.
no big deal, whatever.
I
Like
like
I
some
said-
hot stuff.
Like I said before we went live, I have no sense of taste or smell, which my mother said I should have had 10 years ago before I got married. But, it would have saved us a lot of trouble.
Hi, Donnie.
Hi, Donnie.
You
That
know,
was
it makes me
very
wonder,
good,
like you Jeremy, challenge stuff. I wonder if you can eat that and still not sweat or whatever.
Wait, Donnie Pearson's doing a recreation of the 1812 Overture? Tell me
I wonder
more.
how that would be.
With
Right?
interpretive dance or what?
Yeah, wait, how are we redoing this? Is it Star Trek related?
Are there
Are we doing
cannons?
torpedoes instead of cannons at the end?
Go
here?
girls. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, wrong one.
And is he incorporating the Slavic or what? I mean, because that's hard to learn.
So, who here watched Picard?
Who hasn't?
There are some people who haven't, which strikingly is odd. But
We're already at a year
It's Mike
now, so
already.
that's already done. Oh, spoiler stuff. Forget about it.
Yeah.
what do we?
Carter,
what do
great,
we-
get on it.
What do we? I'm on it. I've already watched it all. But what do we think season 2 is going to be like? Because I know that they're going to be starting filming soon, or if they have already. I know Guinan's
Last thing I saw on Facebook was an article. I didn't get a chance to read it, but Jerry Ryan was sitting there saying it's been production has been pushed back again. I'm not sure when it's exactly supposed to start. Thought it was supposed to start late this month to first part of next month, but it may have been pushed back to June.
Gee.
I mean, you got to be safe with that one. I mean, Patrick Stewart's like a national treasure in 2 countries here.
True.
Right.
You don't want to COVID him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no
The
doubt.
only
No
one
doubt.
we haven't watched is Lower Decks, but that's because of our daughter.
Lower Deck is fucking hysterical. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, I laughed.
I've
so
watched
hard on
some
the episodes.
clips, but some of them have content references that Tori would never get and would never leave us alone if she heard them. So we just went.
Fair.
Gotcha.
But it's like the captain and her daughter. That is me and my mother's relationship.
Seriously?
Oh gosh, I could see
Oh,
that.
geez.
I could so see that. I don't even know your mother, Greg, but I can totally see that.
The
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I think
me and my mother have a very fun relationship.
I've always found it funny some of the people that bemoaned and like refused to watch or didn't or watched one and like that this isn't Star Trek kind of things and they're like Oh, I know the character that you are actually on in that show. Because let me tell you about Lower Decks kids. Those ones actually remind you of real people. No one knows a Picard in real life. No one. It's such a superhero kind of. It's like knowing Superman.
Right.
They're grandiose characters, the best of the best. This is why Deep Space Nine was awesome. We got people with like some grit on them in some places, but even then they were still like the epitome of things. Lower Decks are like real people. If Starfleet were real, if you would like the neighbors, oh no, I know a guy like that.
Remember the TNG episode, Lower Decks?
I liked that one too, but even they were like trying so hard.
It gave you more of a realistic perspective of what would happen. And everything I've watched from Lower Decks, I think I would really enjoy it. But
think of it as like an intro or a segue to the Lower Decks that's on now. Yes, obviously not the same because it's comedic, but it's how probably life was on the Lower Decks.
Right, but from every video I've been able to watch, every clip, there's hidden references and Easter eggs to every last single series, every character. I think the only one I haven't
all the fan service
is
stuff,
but it'll show up. I know it will.
The
Give them a
next,
little time.
I'm curious about Captain Pike's new series.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yes.
He was so good in Discovery season 2 so good he got his own show clearly. But also I'm excited to see that Enterprise, and so my favorite version of the Enterprise has always been the TOS movie era.
Yep.
Where it gets we took it from being that 60s-ish model to something that was a little more streamlined and realistic, but still had lines. I think they did the best of the both worlds with that in Discovery of what that could have been, and that's just a sexy ship that we get to follow around. And like the one problem I have with Discovery is that I don't love the 32nd century ships. Like they're too obscure. Like I think they did a great job in separating themselves of what technology could be, and it's not just you definitely glued 3 parts of a ship that I've already seen together again. They took it to a completely new extreme, but they're not familiar to me. They don't excite that love of the aesthetic that the Federation ships generally have, or Starfleet ships generally have.
They don't
I'm
make
looking
you
forward
tingle.
to seeing more of those ships, possibly more of the USS Nog of the Eisenberg class in season 4 of Discovery. I hope they delve more into the ships.
Oh,
If they don't, they will in books.
Get down.
I think what threw me is
I'll be right back in a second. Kitty decided that I need to
suspended
Gotcha.
pilots.
be present.
Oh yeah,
separated
Because I'm thinking, okay, you're looking at plasma-driven
how does the plasma
electromagnets.
get from here to there?
From an engineering point of view, my brain just goes like, no. Just flat out right.
But
no.
That said, someone probably said the same thing about a communicator a long time ago. Like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Well,
It's supposed to be on your chest, not tapping your chest. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, there's. I don't know. You can do crazy shit with magnets, right? I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't see how they can say they've gotten where they don't waste as much energy. Why? Because they're just bleeding off all that electromagnetic plasma between
you gotta hold on to that with a magnet or something, right?
Something has to hold this together. But the movies, 1701 from the motion picture, or to me, those were the ones.
The refit.
Those were the ones. The refits, because they gave
not only that,
the magnets for the warp drive, they gave them a space that is actually plausible versus just a circle.
Yeah, right. But also that was the first time that we got to see the love of the ship paid its due attention in the motion picture, and then shots were used in Wrath of Khan, where they, Kirk's approach of that was a new way to film things, where they were blending green screens, a studio set, a model, multiple cameras, and trying to match lighting. That was a work of art, filmatically speaking. That's the first time any of us got such close-up beauty shots of any ship other than the underside of a fucking Star Destroyer. You know?
This is true. What I really liked about, I know a lot of people who didn't like the motion picture.
Oh,
they hated it.
It was 2001: A Space Odyssey done Trek. I mean,
the music freaks me out.
From watching it, it's kind of like, for me, since after I left the service, I went into engineering. That's what I went in to do. My brain's kind of like, I like it. I like it a lot.
I love the motion picture. I don't love their uniforms. I'm glad we got new uniforms.
The uniforms.
Who wants to wear pajamas with a belt buckle? Come on.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't realize or remember.
Uniforms for me.
You know,
a lot of people don't realize and remember that the motion picture actually was supposed to be the pilot episode of Star Trek Phase 2, because they brought out Star Wars, Paramount and the creators of Star Trek were like, oh crap, we have to play catch up. And so they decided to make a hour-long episode into a 2-hour movie. The character of the Vulcan science officer, he ended up being part of the command crew of Space Station Epsilon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, lots of changes were made. And thankfully,
in order to compete with Star Wars,
became Discovery.
Yeah,
because Discovery. I mean, it ain't bad, but it's not the prettiest ship out there.
Does anybody watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Nope.
No. My brewer friend is a huge fan of that show, so I'm having their cans, and it's disturbing, but it's from that show, so it's Danny DeVito.
And if we're gonna keep talking classes or ships or something, you should get Stewart on here. He's got more than any of us.
Right? Right?
I will be right back.
Strawberry. Justin, strawberry daiquiri, intensely fruited sour.
I don't drink beer anymore, but that sounds good.
I'll take a good old-fashioned Heather Ale any day, straight out of Scotland.
I'll take a nice glass. I'll take a nice Glenfiddich on the rocks.
There you go.
Glen Moriarty. If we're gonna go with the Glens, Glen Moriarty.
I've been getting into Whistle Pig lately.
Never tried that one. Is it one of the Scotch
Sounds
whiskeys?
kinky. Whistle Pig. I've heard pig whistle.
Yeah.
No, Whistle Pig. It's an American, but it's a pretty nice, smooth taste.
All right.
You want to know what's funny, Justin?
What's that, Tim?
The show's still going on.
Are you serious?
I know. It's like I could be done here, so I'll probably go back over there one.
I drink
Funny.
single malt Scotch and Irish whiskey. Those are the only two things I drink.
This is something that's out of my league. I may have been a bartender and a manager, but I don't drink, so I don't know what anything tastes like.
I'm a vodka drinker mostly.
Grey Goose or Belvedere?
But I can nursemaid a drink for 3 hours. People have looked at me like I'm crazy.
Belvedere or Tito's?
Belvedere's
but
good.
It is. But here in New Hampshire, we have ice pick vodka.
I just insulted Belvedere.
Ice pick, it's made locally in the next town over, and it's actually a pretty nice, smooth vodka.
I haven't tried Kettle One, David, but I want to try the Tahoe vodka. It's made from all natural, so if you put it in your freezer, it will actually start solidifying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, Mike, not on the rocks.
No.
A splash of water, you're done.
Yeah, never on the rocks.
You drink it pretty much straight.
Yeah, I do.
Is there another way to do it?
You drink single Single
I'm
malt.
talking
whiskey.
single malt Scotch. No, you don't ruin this with anything.
Then I really have to try a single malt then.
I don't do it with an ice cube. I do it with a whiskey stone. Therefore, it doesn't dilute.
I give them a second in the air to condense, and then I put my stones in.
There is one new vodka that came out, I think, 2 years ago or so. That's made it like right near St. Louis, called Mastermind. A lot of people rave that it's really smooth tasting and everything. If y'all can give it a try at all, so.
Wait, what topic are we on?
Vodka.
Distilled spirits.
Okay, distilled spirits, yay. Vodka,
Mashed potatoes.
get a good one and leave it alone. Vodka's whole point in life is to not taste like anything, so you can mix it with shit.
This way, we're not alcoholics. We're spiritual at work.
This is true.
Dean
Well,
Martin.
we're all alcoholics. Do we call this a meeting?
Kettle one's not bad. Here in Texas, we like Tito's.
I was gonna say Tito's. I like because they do a lot of like things with animals.
Yeah,
So
they're good.
Do they
Price. Good product.
still make Lone Star?
There's a million things here named Lone Star. There's probably 7 of them.
There used to be a beer named Lone Star.
Oh, beer? Yeah, I forget who owns that now. But they still make it, yeah.
I was kind of hoping Olympia didn't make it anymore. They ruined it.
Well, as long as you're not drinking Zenka, we're
They
good.
took the pop out of it.
Not drinking what?
tasted like
Zenka.
Oh.
Plastic bottle vodka where you can squeeze the bottle.
Yeah, no, that's like the original hand sanitizer, right?
That
Yep.
what?
Zenka.
Vodka and a pickle. You'll never get drunk that way. There's too many electrolytes in a pickle.
yeah, no shit.
I don't do a pickle, so I get drunk because that's straight vodka.
There's a lot of people that do pickle chasers with a lot of shots and stuff.
Oh,
Are you?
Chris,
No. Those are for quitters. No.
that's for quitters. Definitely.
Kim, what's your alcohol of choice?
Well, I'm not a big drinker. I do like Captain Morgan rum with Coke, just real simple. And of course, I love a pina colada because I love coconut. I used to like Long Island teas, but they affect me too easily. So
She pretty much likes anything that makes her deal with us easily. So
no,
Right.
it's just
Make
I'm
this
not-
experience go a little less painful.
there wasn't alcohol in my house growing up, because my parents were both children of alcoholics, so no alcohol, nothing. And so I didn't
Testify
really
here.
drink a lot. I think I was 20 before I had my first drink. I did have a White Russian once, and I thought it was just wonderful because it tasted good. I don't like to taste the alcohol.
That's when you
Jeremy,
know
you
the
need
drink
to put that up to the AB and see if you can get that to the quartermaster.
You don't need to go to the AV to get shit added to the quartermaster. If Linda has demand, she'll do it. So I just throw that to Linda directly.
There used to be beer cozies.
No, I
and we
was
used to
told to
have
take them to.
shot glasses.
They got to go before the AB and be.
No,
Approved.
no. The AV does not direct what gets put on the freaking quartermaster at all. If you came to it, you'd never get a new product. We're too slow. That's we're way too slow. As long as the quartermaster is reasonably solvent and like, okay, we have this much money, we're gonna spend, X to get a new product. We understand that there's an upfront investment, but you've already kind of done the research of there's a demand, we have a reasonable expectation to sell these many things. No, we don't care. That's their job. That's the whole thing for the AC to go run
I would
into.
totally buy a cozy for
Well,
my
it
beer.
was.
They need a better
Linda
flag.
told me that I had to.
Joel, try
Ask
Terramana
Steve.
tequila. That's
He had to
pretty
show
good.
it to you guys, and then.
But unless it's something completely outrageous, I would say that your first key would be: is there a demand? 'Cause-
Magnetic rank pips.
oh, yeah, that might be because we're stepping on Paramount stuff. That would be bad.
We're what?
If it's we're stepping on CBS or Paramount or whoever the hell owns their product. That's a licensed item that they've issued, and we don't have that license. So we probably
What is pips?
the Star Trek rank pips. And I understand that, yeah, you can't copyright an item, so your circles are probably all good, gold circles, who gives a shit? But once you get into like the flag ranks and stuff that are
I wasn't talking flag ranks. I was talking
specific.
from ensign to captain.
That's the only way that I think that they were like, maybe we need to run this by somebody else, because that one might incur some wrath from up above.
There were also a couple of plaques that I got hit with that on.
I mean, in all fairness, just ask Linda. Linda will say, yes, I can, or I got to check with somebody.
Well,
every time I've asked her about any item, she said I have to submit it to Steve. That's why Steve has gotten like 3 packages from me.
Weird.
And he's supposed to have shown the AB.
Nope, not yet.
I threatened to make Starfleet pasties one time.
There you go.
Only if it has the tassels, Kim.
No, it's when I was a Marine, and they didn't have the women's shirts. I didn't know you could get women uniform shirts for the salt and peppers. Mm-hmm. And the way you put the wings and the com badge in a certain order. Well, on women, it looked like a big Starfleet pasty. So I thought, well, I'm just going to flip it, so put it up higher. Well, I had some guy try to tell me when I was giving a talk about uniforms that I was out of uniform, and he kept making a big deal. Then he's like, why don't you have it correct? And I said, right in front of the whole room of about 50 people, because I have breast. It looks different on women. If you want, I'll just make Starfleet pasties to be over. No, I said breasts. I got an S on there. So I remember Deidre was laughing her head off. I said, it just looks different on a woman. It looks stupid to have a com badge right there. But I wasn't a Marine very long, obviously.
Well, you can come back. We got rid of the salt and peppers.
No. I like what I'm doing.
No, those were the worst uniform ever.
I don't know where my black uniform jacket is. I had one of the dress ones, and I had a skirt. I had the first female. I had the second jacket, first woman's, and I had the first skirt.
But the Nemesis black or the
Nemesis?
Black, yeah.
Anthony Leopard's the one that came up with the concept, and he had the first one. So I said, well, I want one. So I made one.
Yeah, I saw those exactly for like a year. I'm like, I need one of those. And then I outgrew it. And
yeah, I don't even know where mine is.
So then I have a dress white that I probably can't fit into that right now. So.
I don't have any uniforms anymore. I gotta get some more made.
So turns out the Guard Air is a great place to start because they're cheap as hell.
Tom has the Nemesis jacket, but the maroon bled onto the white when it was dry cleaned. So, but he can't get in it anyway, so it just hangs in the closet. That thing is heavy.
I want to get one of those uniforms for dress functions for me because I'm using that style of uniform for my ship.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and
I think my ship decided that we're going to go with the 2399s because damn, they're easy to get.
I want one like Jeremy's.
Well, that's what they are, the 2399s, and I don't know. See, these actually has the little deltas.
Mm-hmm.
They're like $40.
I wouldn't sew it for that. I wouldn't even try to sew it for that. It's cheap.
Right. Like why? It's a pullover shirt. There's not a million zippers. It's the easiest uniform ever. Like, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're like the most refit Nebula class ever in 2399.
I wish they'd had the color down here and it black here, because that way if you had a kind of different black pants, it wouldn't be so obvious it didn't match. But I can see why they did it for the shoulders. But I used to sew uniforms, and for that, I mean, I have I bought the Picard one that was like what he wore in his Admiral, and I wouldn't even try to make it for what I bought it online at that Star Trek Uniform and Clothing.
Yeah.
Is that where you got yours?
Yeah, it's the same vendor, the Chinese vendor.
Yeah, it's great
stuff.
stuff.
That Russell uses.
Yeah, she's doing a great job knocking them out. I've got an Anovos dress whites in there, and I'm tempted to go buy her jacket. Yeah, like it doesn't fit in an Anovos dress whites anymore.
What was the name of the place for that?
I will invite you to the Facebook group, Tim.
Okay.
There's a It's an easier way to get to it through eBay. Is her shop.
Yeah.
And they're super nice people.
Mm.
Very responsive.
Mm.
That's not at all what I wanted.
Already sent the invite. Yes, Joe.
Cold.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's good quality, and I got it really fast.
Mm.
It fit nice. I like it because she makes women and men's versions.
Mm.
Jeremy, what size is your Novos, and what color?
I have the Novos dressed whites, and it's I think a 2X, like the largest it had. Posting the link to the vendor that we get all these uniforms from, their eBay store there.
Okay.
So I just popped that down there. Oh yeah, it showed up. Cool.
There, Kira. Just go by their
Are the sizes accurate? Yeah, Kozer Mart is also them, but I think you could save a couple bucks by going through the eBay store. I think there's a little bit more of a markup, if I'm not mistaken.
They have a diagram.
They run a little small. Like this is a 3X, and it's a little tighter than my 3X t-shirts. Let's just say. So definitely runs a little small, but they only go up to 3X right now. It's just off the shelf stuff too. So.
Well, they have a diagram with their sizing on it, so just measure yourself and go by what they say, and don't think, well, what's an inch? Go up if you're in doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I selected an 1X for the jacket for the Nemesis dress whites, and it was like $57 plus $10 for shipping. I haven't pulled the trigger
Dress whites for $60. Are you kidding me, Greg? That's not what I bought my Novus, and the only reason I have a Novus was it was in stock. It was on sale for that particular one, and I happened to pick up, and it was still like $150.
Yeah,
I don't know where Tom got his.
This guy for my uniform, and I spent $70, but that was a SFI discount.
Yeah, back when we had that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have several. I had several cosplay skies. My Scotty jacket's in the shop right now. For those of you. Usually wear the Scotty jacket because it's much cooler and doesn't have sleeves. We're about to start doing the O'Brien roll here.
Yeah, see, I mean, had to take the suit jacket off, and then I had to roll up the sleeves.
And
my favorite uniform that I own, I don't get a chance to wear it often enough, is my DS9 movie era flag officer uniform. I had a friend who took the pattern from Bad Wolf off of Etsy, cursed at it for a while, made something better, and then still made it out of cotton where it still hangs right as a jacket. So it's actually possible to wear in Texas.
Those look so hot.
They're a little warm.
They would be in polyester.
Yeah, you're talking about the Nemesis jacket.
Like what? What Paris's daddy wore, and what Janeway wore when she was an admiral. You know, it's like the tunic with
Admiral
the belt.
Ross wore the whole time.
Yeah.
What evil admiral? What's his name in Insurrection War?
Forrest.
Matthews.
No. Yeah.
And I'm in the process of cutting the pieces for my DS9 uniform, and I'm using a cotton. So.
And the key to the DS9 Admiral uniform, and probably and even the DS9, because it's a jacket over a shirt, then probably you have an undershirt. I just cut that into a dickie so that it's just the color. So you're not actually triple layering that shit.
I've got an ultra lightweight.
Knew someone knew it.
Yeah.
Another evil admiral out there somewhere.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorite things about Discovery right now. Is we have a new Commander Starfleet. He's been on several episodes, and he's not evil.
I
He's
hope
actually
we
a
see
pretty
more
good guy.
in season 4. Oded Fehr is such a great actor. I love him in his roles.
I know, but I'm so used to him being the bad guy. It was like when we had Jason Isaacs. Like always the bad guy, and you're just waiting for that shoe to drop.
Right?
He wasn't a bad guy in The Mummy. It's the first thing I saw him in. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon Fraser before he went nuts.
He really didn't go nuts, did he?
I don't think he's nuts. He
Nobody's
just went through an ugly. He's working on
Only
that.
because Hollywood won't work with him.
He's got that one show out where he plays. What is that called? Okay, I just love The Mummy. I thought that was a great date movie. Like National Treasure was a good date movie.
If you want to talk about nuts, look at
Declaration of Independence.
We may find that.
Just want to say I'm like oddly quiet now.
There's like 3 blocks of text that I'm trying to get through. And
Doom Patrol. That's what he's on now. It's DC Universe.
He plays for Mr. Robot.
Margaret had friends that redid the Monster Maroons. There's a reason they're called monsters. They're projects.
I don't like those.
I'd love to have one though.
I'm telling myself if I ever get under 200, that's where I'm going to buy myself a Monster Maroons.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
It shows every figure flaw.
But it's a good looking uniform though.
No, it's not. If you leave it buckled up, but they have it hanging open, and then they have the men will have their belt buckle pushed down real low in front. It's up high in the back, and
I hated everyone like I understood like they were doing it for like dramatic effect of like the loosening of the tie type of thing, but I hated everyone running around with your shit not buttoned up. Like, no uniform, button your shit up. Why do we even know what those chains look like? We shouldn't be arguing about what the little chains between the snaps look like because I should have never seen them.
And the argument is still going on today.
Yeah, and there's people trying to match the chain link just so perfectly with the right grooves. Like, no, wear your shit right. Then no one cares.
You snaps or Velcro. You're out of uniform if you leave it hanging open.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I should never know if your chains are correct. Walking around icy,
Mm-hmm.
Kim, what are you doing this Wednesday around noon Eastern time?
Doing on when?
Wednesdays.
If my parents have appointments, I'll be there.
If not, you should make a guest appearance on the Slack channel when we do the Dauntless viewing parties.
Oh, we could do that. I think
we watch different Star Trek episodes. We treat those as our meetings.
Mm-hmm. This past week, today I went with my parents, and I'm not with them tomorrow. Next week, I have 3 days with them.
I forget what episode we did this past week because my schedule is crazy, but we do a new episode every week. We do like a theme.
I just started watching my Enterprise Blu-rays. Blu-ray.
Netflix has DS9, which has been making me happy because I go to bed every night and I just why am I saying sorry? It's after dark.
I was about to say, you've seen half the cards that I've wrote on here before, so.
I know it's been a long week, and
you behaved yourself, Tim. I'm surprised.
And having COVID makes me even more tired than I already am. Like, I'm already dreading dragging myself from the couch to bed. I might end up just falling asleep here. I know I'm an asshole.
That's not nice.
I embrace it.
Don, we haven't heard much from you tonight. What's going on over there in your neck of the woods? I'm sorry to cut you off, Greg.
You're still awake. 20 years awake now straight, so.
Right.
John, can you hear us?
Yeah. So I'm just looking
there's a question.
What's the question?
Is there any news?
Bank accounts. Yeah, I know that the Marines are finally free and clear, and so they were transferring all the stuff that was being held by S5 back to the Marines. So I think most of that cleared up by now. Was, I believe, the latest. I mean, that's been a couple briefings, a lot of sleep in freaking January, which is like a year unto itself ago. But I remember hearing that we were moving everything back and things were getting back to normal. I don't know that it's 100%, but I do remember hearing positive progress on all fronts.
Well, don't we still have a deficit a little bit from the 2019 IC?
So like what's in the accounts? That's not what I was at all speaking to. I thought the question was.
I don't know. That was a different question. I don't know if that's what they were referring to as well. So
I know that we had the fraud activity that locked our accounts that made it difficult for us to conduct financial shit, and then impossible for the Marines to do so because that took longer. But those were, I think, have been resolved at this time.
I believe they've been resolved. I mean,
as for what's in them, we got hosed on an IC. There's going to be some recovering from that for years to come.
I mean, check the latest tour of duty. Linda lists it black and white, clear as day.
Yeah.
Here's what's here. Here's what came in. Here's what went out. You can even email Linda and say, "Hey, what's going on?" She'll tell you.
Jeremy, do we have any more updates as far as the potential increase of membership dues?
Nope. That's actually a committee I'm not on. I find my hand in the air often enough for several committees. I think I'm on 2 right now. But that's not one of them. I think I want to say Nottage was on one. I might be misspeaking. I
mean, I could see the dues going up a little bit. I don't
so
think
the entire idea is, we know that we're not, $5 is not paying the bills, but we didn't want to just throw out a different arbitrary number. So there was supposed to be a committee to do some studies on what does it cost to actually run Starfleet, and then try to do a logical member breakdown on that. Unpopular opinion, if Jeremy weren't king for a day, I would get rid of family memberships because that makes it really freaking hard. And we're not shipping a lot of things to people anymore. So the savings that was incurred due to shipping just isn't there. So I would go to one member, one price for voting class members and call it a day. And then you have a really easy way of like, this many members gets me this much money, and I need that price to be this to cover these expenses. Yeah. Whereas with the family membership, you're introducing a world of more variables that's much harder to anticipate what your income is.
Yeah, and in some cases, you're going to lose to a member or two because of income requirements.
Yeah. So I don't think, again, right now, Starfleet's sitting at $5 a year for voting memberships.
Right.
I would not charge anything for cadets. Call it just done because they're not voting.
Okay.
And I think that's fine and fair. They can still participate with the academy and stuff. And we've made it 18 and over to be a voting class member. So I think there should be one price, one, same level of responsibilities. And whether that's $7, $10, don't go to Starbucks for a week, and you can afford Starfleet. We're not trying to break anyone's bank. I don't think we're going to go back to the days of $25 memberships if we're not delivering shit to your door.
Yeah,
but I know for my family membership, I pay $9.
And Starfleet hasn't gone up with it, and we got built.
Agreed. I mean, the communique is not even published by mail anymore. It's purely on. That was a big cost influence.
That was the number one expenditure of Starfleet, and it's where we were bleeding out.
But now we don't print it anymore.
No, we don't.
I print mine now.
What do you think the big percentage of how much of Starfleet is actually family membership?
Is family membership? Most, probably.
Would you say more than 50% or 50%.
I don't have any numbers in front of me, but just wild ass guess, I would guess more than 50% were involved in a family membership in some way. Yes,
I can see that.
Especially at the what we're 46, 40 some odd years now. You get a random person, but I mean, even then, for every one person that joins, inevitably they eventually kind of talk their spouse into it, and then they sign up their kids, and then so they all kind of almost become family members because we've lived so long, where most of the members have started families.
Yeah, I know. For me and my,
I don't have kids. I've got a family
$9
membership.
for mine.
It's me and the wife and a couple close friends that we just kind of picked up their tab, so to speak, because they were having other issues. It wasn't that they couldn't afford it; they just didn't know how to make this shit go. But yeah, I think and again, if it was all like $5, $6, $7, up to $10, I mean, let's get crazy here. So don't have Starbucks for a week. Maybe two. We're not breaking anybody's bank here. If $10 per year is what breaks you, then that might not be the priority. We've got
$10 a year with how much Starfleet gives you. I mean, Academy alone, if you are that active and want to be involved in it, you're bang for your buck right there.
At our highest, when it was $25 for the primary membership.
I remember that.
There is at no point in Starfleet that I didn't get my money's worth or back off of the member perks. And I think that's something we're really terrible at, is selling what our member perks are, so that when people go and do all the things, they can recoup some of that cost. I mean,
Was that a price back in the 90s, Jeremy?
What's that?
Was that back in the 90s when it was 25?
No, that was when I took over as RC, so that was as little as 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
The $5 wasn't for a long while at all.
No, this $5 thing is fairly new.
Because when I joined 5 years ago, it was $10.
Yeah,
I
that's
signed up in 2015.
We were trying to split like the regular membership versus electronic membership, and sort it all out. And then the electronic membership overwhelmingly made print memberships impossible. It was kind of a quagmire there, but yeah. And then everyone was like, "And $5." I'm like, I think we undercut ourselves there. I don't think it should have ever been $5, but I don't know that we've ever done a good hard study on what it costs to run the fleet either.
Good night, Paul.
Night, Paul. And that's one of the things. We budget for things, and so that's a starting point. Joel asked, "What are the perks at $5 off?" Choice hotels. I think Red Roof Inn. There's discounts on Enterprise Rent-A-Car. There's discounts for
Brooks
every
Brothers.
thing should absolutely have been using the Office Max, now Office Depot, since they combined in a weird way. It used to be only for print stuff. Now the code works for the whole damn store. So you need pen,
I didn't know that.
paper. Last times I've used it, and I've used it every year for Region 3's print services. Granted, I've skipped a year, so I'm a year down because we didn't have Summit last year. Didn't do any printing last year. It's really easy to recoup your costs if you're doing anything else. If you're traveling to a convention, if you're just traveling and staying at hotels or need to rent a car, $20 off a hotel, that's probably $5 right there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
20% off the hotel.
Well, whatever the discount would be on a rental car too.
Michael Stein asked, "Why wasn't a bunch?" I don't know that it wasn't. Let me just be clear. I don't know. I never saw one. And that was kind of the hodgepodge of when everything was just like, all right, let's cut it down to And I think that's what I think there was an analysis. I don't know it was a super thorough analysis with room to grow built into it. So I think there was some preliminary analysis of what it takes to do it today, and they just did that and left that to somebody else to deal with. And here we are.
Well, with being more Facebook oriented and in digital and everything, it does help out a lot. I mean, I'm just, who was the Commander Starfleet at the time whenever that happened?
What year was this?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember.
Honestly, Westfall?
Oh, was this? I could see that.
I think it might have been Westfall, yeah.
And I think that was kind of the platform he was running on, was to reduce overhead, get costs down, get things, so we did it. And
that didn't last.
Well, I mean, it might have absolutely been the right answer for the day, but how long has it been since Westfall has been in charge? Inflation's gone up since then. Just $5 5 years ago wasn't $5 a day.
Do these
Joel,
perks?
to answer your, I'm sorry, Kim. Joel, to answer your question, if you go to the main page for sfi.org and go to go to About SFI, and there's a tab under that says membership perks. You scroll down, and there's another paragraph talking about the membership discounts, and it gives you a hyperlink that says what our discounts are.
They're also in the database when you log in under your membership.
Yes.
Is it? I couldn't find that one.
So log into the database. I know it's a scary place. Brought up database again. But that one's been pretty. That's not been one of the features that's been generally breaking. Is that?
I see. Under
office, the CFO is absolutely involved in helping advise that, and I know that they're on the committee that's supposed to be analyzing that.
I apologize, Kim.
My wife posted the membership perks. Thanks, Sri.
Brooks Brothers.
What else? Chris, not even going to butcher that last name with so many vowels in it. Good night, Chris. Jason, I want to go back up. Jason Tierney said there's no Office Depot in Canada, and admittedly, a lot of these perks are U.S. centric. What I do believe we need to do is find, and probably need to go through your RC for. And I understand Canada has 2. I think actually 3 technically. I think part of 13 is Canada, 10 is Canada, and I don't know. Anyway.
Well, for the Commonwealth, he's Region 1, so that would be Philip Cox.
Either way, getting Canada might be get all the RCs together and find some of the things that are useful to you guys, and let's do it for every region. Give those RCs that negotiating power, but we have to figure out how to do that, because oddly enough, board members are not agents of the corporation for that purpose. So we do have to figure out how to educate our RCs to go do that, and then empower them to do so. Still, the CS is the only one that's going to sign a contract, but that just goes into how we represent ourselves and how we're selling that to those other businesses so that we can create those relationships. The Mysterious 14. Okay. Yeah. So that's right now. That's Yost and Paul. Let's get them together with and figure out. I know Yost has played this game, and Paul's been in that seat for forever. So, what are the businesses that would appeal? I mean, Canada's a really big area, right? Like, I don't think do you guys all have the same Office Depot-esque shop there? I don't know. But so that's kind of some of the problems we have with non-US things. I'm sure there's companies down in Australia that we need to visit to help all of our Australian members, and
the same thing for England.
England, and then I was thinking, all of Europe. Is there a good? All of Europe has this.
928.
We got to negotiate something with each one of them. So it's when it's that fractured, it gets a little bit harder. America, for better or for worse, has these massive chains that are easy to pin down.
Well, they might have like sister companies. I know that I just found out South Africa has Walmart, but it's not Walmart. It's called something else, but it's under the same company.
Yeah.
So this girl wanted to know where I got this rug. I said, Walmart, but you don't have it. She goes, oh, yes, we do. It's just called something else, but same company. I went, oh.
Kira mentions that she's a senior and AAA member. Just because you have them already doesn't mean that SFI's worth is less. Not everyone's a member of those two things. And at all times, any organization is, why did you join? Is that what you're taking away and what you're getting out of it? I was just saying it's generally not that hard to get your monies back out of it just off of those discounts. And yeah, you get discounts from other things too, and then they compete. And then at that point, okay, cool. You care where you save money?
I mean, when I joined, like I said, in 2015, it was $10. That was back when we had the Cosplay Sky discount. I made my membership back for just buying a uniform.
Absolutely.
But the risk of sounding corny, it's worth it to me because of all the people I've got to meet and make friends, and it broadened my view of the United States and then of the world. All the people I've met, like I would have never met John. I wouldn't have known what Essex people were like. Now I know they're all like John.
I got to meet some great people from my home state.
Are you trying to sell that or what now?
We wouldn't have met Kim.
Well, is that just a ship?
I'm just,
Yeah, the way I always try and sell Starfleet is I've met more people that if I go to a city, any fucking city on this planet, I'm pretty sure that if I threw out a call early enough, there's some Starfleet member like, you know what, I can show you around. And taking it a step further, there's more, what I would say, if I was in town, someone would offer me a couch. I've met more of that level of friend in this organization than in any other, including fandoms, fire department, Renaissance festivals, and the United States Air Force. So the amount of quick friends and good friends has been amazing in this organization. We've got our, we're family. We've got our nuts. We've got our creepy uncles. I'm probably fit into that category. It is definitely, we're here for the people, and so what cooks my noodle whenever I hear people like, yeah, I joined Starfleet, but I didn't we didn't really do that to interact with anybody. I'm like, well, you missed the boat. you missed the whole point of the whole thing. If you just want to sit down at your chapter level and not engage with anybody else, then you missed the point.
I mean, one of the great perks that I got out of Starfleet is the ideology. Everybody is the same, no matter color, creed, race, no matter what. We are all the same. And I stand by that. I stand by the IDIC, infinite diversity, infinite combinations, because it's very true, and we all need to have that mentality.
Yep.
It helped me to get out of my shell. If I didn't get out of my shell, I would have never gotten in the wrestling business in '97. So
you we wouldn't have the Post-its and index cards that we have today.
Oh no, I did that stuff even before that. So I was always a dick. So,
I'm surprised I haven't seen my name up there yet, Tim.
You have a Kim for Admiral, right, Tim?
No,
she's already an Admiral.
It's wearing off. So
I don't care. I don't care. You'll never top Steve. Think of me. I was 79.
Keep going, Tim.
I'm proud of my rank. I worked hard.
You did very work hard. I
For a
remember
long
you
time.
were an admiral.
Right. I was a vice admiral for 13 years. Of course, I didn't do anything for a long time.
Nothing will ever be, Owen being the acting regional coordinator for 75 years.
I know. 14 years. It's one of the
Does everyone just have index cards? Like, is that a thing that people own in this world? Like,
I got Post-its.
I got nothing, apparently.
I was going to say, I have nothing.
Tablet.
I have my phone, which has
I actually want
I got many Post-its.
Everybody. I want to challenge everybody watching the show tonight. Email or text message Steve and let him know congratulations on him running for a second term.
I have to rewrite the manual first.
He can't get his emails. He doesn't have internet. He didn't pay the bill.
No, I know. When he gets back, he'll have tons of emails.
Yes, Justin.
Well, shoot.
I don't drink and I don't know shit. So.
Well, we know that about you, Tam.
My favorite character in Game of Thrones.
Shit about fuck.
My favorite character in Game of Thrones.
Shoot. Wizard activist.
I like that.
Is that Ravensclaw? Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm Ravensclaw. My husband's Gryffindor.
Yeah, I'd have to say I'm a Gryffindor if we're going Harry Potter.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
Same thing with my XO there, Greg.
Wife's definitely Hufflepuff. It's one of those the four archetypes. Like there's 4 houses in Harry Potter. There are 4 of the Ninja Turtles. There are 4 of the chicks from Sex and the City. It's one of those you can relate to almost any. Everyone's got the one that they relate to, and they're all based off of archetypes.
Yeah.
4 Beatles.
Yeah, I think it was Cracked After Dark. They did like one of the best spiels on that, of linking all of those things, those groups of 4 into archetypes, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, that was like a really good episode."
3 Stooges.
Jason, I like your prime minister.
Oh, so the Stooges were not necessarily archetypes. There's just a really good comedy routine.
There were 4 Marx Brothers, but one of them you didn't hardly see.
No.
Yeah.
Zeppo or Gummo?
Oh, wait a minute, there was 5. I don't know.
I mean, it's Harpo.
Harpo, Groucho.
Chico, Zeppo, and Gummo.
Okay, there were 5.
Yeah. It's Gummo didn't see myself.
And I think Zeppo was the one that was in most of the movies with them.
Yeah, but not really.
I liked him. I didn't
Groucho
like
was
the
always
3
the one up
Stooges.
front, right?
Yeah, he had the cigar and the.
Groucho was the star one. Harpo was the silent one. Chico was the Italian one. And then Zeppo was the straight man in the whole movie. So.
Yeah, Groucho as well, yeah. But he could talk though, couldn't he, Harpo? He could talk.
There's a funny episode of I Love Lucy with Harpo.
Say that again, Kim.
There's a funny I Love Lucy episode that has Harpo Marx,
Mm-hmm.
and they do a mirror trick. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And where comedy is, you ever notice you never see anything that good, like anything from any of those old comedy groups or even Lucy and everything like that. You don't see that kind of comedy anymore.
Carol Burnett.
Because people get too offended.
Carol Burnett with the good old
Hello.
Well, plus
there.
a lot of people think it's corny now, but I like that.
Yes.
Saturday night, I was in front of the TV. I like variety shows. We'd watch Carol Burnett on Saturdays, and then, of course, I'm older than all of you, but
no.
well, in the States. But Sunday was the Sonny and Cher show. That was a good variety show.
You are old.
Did you ever watch the Johnny and June variety show?
Who?
Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash?
Oh, yeah. And the Mac Davis show, and the Glenn Campbell, and Jackie Gleason, and Red Skelton.
I remember Red Skelton because I remember his phonetic punctuation.
Yeah. There was even Because a lot of people had variety shows. Flip Wilson. Oh my gosh. Flip Wilson's variety show was amazing. If you don't know who Flip Wilson is, look him up on YouTube and look when he dressed up as this woman named Geraldine. He was hilarious. And for a black man to have
Dana Carvey as Grandmama for the it was the church lady.
Church lady, yeah.
Well, you got Medea now.
Right.
Yep.
I think John Hardy was sitting over there saying that you weren't the oldest one on there, but that's because he was busy judging Socrates and making comments.
Yeah.
Our vampire resident there.
We're close in age, but I don't know what variety shows they had over in England.
Well, we had the Andy Williams show come over.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh yeah, I remember Andy Williams show.
Yeah, with the Osmonds.
Oh yeah, Osmonds.
The very young Osmonds. What do we have a variety show? I can't
Was
really
it
say.
Top of the Pops? I watched that.
No, that was we had more Black White Minstrel show.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a bit like the like Jolson shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, and it's Black White Minstrel shows.
Yeah, you don't have that here.
No. The good old days, which is the old variety show programs. Variety shows. Sunday Night on Palladium.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly when the All Stars come over.
Oh yeah, Tim Conway. Oh.
Yeah.
There's a movie I'm hoping they'll put on Disney Plus. It's The World's Greatest Athlete. Came out in the 70s. I remember being a kid seeing it, but Tim Conway has the funniest bit. He gets shrunk by a witch doctor, and they had these huge props where he was like in this lady's purse, and he fell in a highball glass, and he's trying to dial a telephone with this huge pencil. You know, it's great.
What about the Benny Hill show?
Benny Hill?
Yeah.
We weren't allowed to watch that at the house.
I snuck up late to watch that because you got to see stuff once in a blue moon.
We watched Saturday Night Live, and then there was the Midnight Special. It would come on at 1 o'clock. I don't know why they called it the Midnight Special. I'd try to stay up to watch it, and I'd fall asleep and wake up with the Star Spangled Banner playing in the snow.
How you doing over there, Drew?
Who remembers High Flight?
I do.
At the end of the day, TV stations actually went off air.
I remember that.
I remember that. I used to fall asleep with my radio, and it would go off the air, and it would wake me up when they would do like the shotgun blast to say they were on the air, and I'd jump.
Well, in 2 weeks, I turned 44 on the 1st of March.
Young one. I remember being
I wish
44.
I could.
In 7 months, I turned 36.
Oh, shut up.
Younger. Youngster.
36.
Now, I remember when
Although right now I feel like I'm about 106. So
Saturday nights was, I think, at either 11 p.m. or midnight. Three Stooges came on in the St. Louis area and went all the way to like 5 to 6 a.m.
What, Netflix? I'm sorry. I'll try that again.
I can remember when cable was sort of new. It's in 84, but there wasn't that many stations. You know, there was barely MTV, you know.
4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, but they would show old TV shows in the middle of the night that I'd never heard of at that time because, you know, we didn't have internet.
Mm-hmm.
And all these because Alice from the Brady Bunch was on this show called Bachelor Father, which had John Forsythe, and I'd never heard of that. But I was very pregnant, couldn't sleep, had my days and nights mixed up, and I was watching McHale's Navy at 2 a.m, which I loved. Things
Never
are
really
different
watched
now.
the original McHale's Navy, but I just picked up Buck Rogers with Gil Gerard and Aaron Gray on Blu-ray, and I'm like tickled pink because I loved watching the reruns of that show from the 80s. I've got the A-Team, I've got He-Man, Voltron, Thundercats, all from the 80s. So it's like my childhood. The 80s cartoon.
Yeah.
What was I like Thundar the Barbarian in those 80s cartoons.
Oh, good Lord. I still couldn't even get to the end of that back then, no, either. I liked He-Man, but Thundar was just like slow to catch
He-Man
on.
was far better, in my opinion, than Thundar. And I remember watching
Thundar had a smart girl, which I liked.
So the best part of He-Man was it got us the what was it, Twitter feed that made it to Facebook or something of Skeletor is Love.
Oh, yeah.
The best shit ever.
Yeah.
That got me through until I found the Star Trek shitposting group. As far as the best memes in the world.
When I was a kid and the Star Trek animated series came out, I was thrilled. I watched it.
That was too cerebral for a lot of the kids, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, they're great stories.
We went through a couple episodes. Like, they pulled out all the chocks. Like, we don't have to film this. We'll do whatever crazy shit we want. Like, wow, that's going to be way over a kid's head.
That was the problem with the original series too. It was
great sci-fi concepts that were low budget.
Yeah.
So we all make fun of the pizza stained rug, but really, Devil in the Dark was one of the best sci-fi.
Yeah.
A silicon-based life form, and how would that even pretend to communicate? And the similarities there. That was fantastic sci-fi. If you could forgive a pizza stained rug and some, balloons that were painted silver.
I always thought they looked like milk balls or bowling balls.
Yeah, whatever.
See, when I was a kid, though, watching that after school, we didn't really look at it as being fake or thinking about the effects and stuff. We were just, I was thrilled with it. I had to fight with my brother because he wanted to watch something on the other station, and we had one television, so we'd change back and forth in commercials. So,
hey Justin, you see that they're coming out with not one but 2 new Masters of the Universe series on Netflix?
I did not. I'm gonna have to.
One is going to be a continuation of the '80s, done by Kevin Smith.
Really?
And you know how he is introducing himself.
I'm definitely gonna have to take a look at that.
Well, just didn't want to.
He's a purist.
Yeah,
he is a purist. If it's anything he's doing a retake on, I'm excited.
Got Alan Oppenheimer as a voice in the show, but not as Skeletor. Alan Oppenheimer is doing Merman. Skeletor's voice is Hamill.
No way.
Yeah.
Right, Kira.
I agree with James. We need to get more gals on here. We need to get Lauren White as a permanent establishment on this. She's hilarious.
I'll try and get her for next week. I just added her on Facebook. So
I'm sorry, I'm not hilarious enough. I'm just trying to be good.
You need more female content. You're kind of surrounded, and she was just the latest one that wasn't you. I remember being really strong on. I think that was an AMA. So we need to get her to cut loose on an After Dark. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
We're all focused on Kim now. She's in the middle.
As I say, right between all thoughts.
The only thing about it, though, they say, well, this is after a certain time. People that go and watch these later, it's not after midnight. So we need to have a disclaimer or something that said, yes, there will be some racy talk in this. Be warned.
I'm pretty sure the name is the, warning on that one.
No.
Who's joining us?
Because they used to have Nick. My boss. They used to have Nick at Night.
I remember Nick at Night, and that's what they would put on more of the teenage adult shows.
I love Nick at Night.
Aeon Flux, Ren and Stimpy.
Yes,
the good shit.
I didn't.
I remember when cable started.
True.
Kim, there's no vodka left in there.
There's no vodka. It's mostly ice.
The rum. Why is the rum gone?
I don't like vodka.
Why is the rum gone?
I liked what was it my kids watched? Johnny Bravo, that cartoon.
I remember Johnny Bravo.
And Dexter's Laboratory and the Star Trek episode. If you've not seen the Star Trek episode of Dexter's Laboratory, you need to find it on YouTube with the Klingoffs and what was Bones' name? Anyway, he had a Spock, a McCoy, and a Kirk character, and it was hilarious.
Who remembers Pigs in Space?
Pigs in
Thanks. Yeah.
Captain Clink.
Yeah.
Yep.
Clink Hogdrop or something like that.
Yeah, it's in the UK.
Johnny Quest.
Thank you. I was just thinking that there, Drew. Just
Johnny
thinking that.
The Thunderbirds.
I love the
Yes.
Thunderbirds. When I was 3, I loved Johnny Quest, and I had a dream when I was napping, because you had to take a nap at 3, that I was playing with him. And I got up and I'm running through the house. My mom said, "What are you doing?" And I thought he had got up and was hiding. I was looking under the television and everything. And I can remember doing that. I love Johnny Quest. Remember
Margaret, you are absolutely right.
Well, so it's not the rabbit ears anymore, but I did just get to play the game with the big ominous rectangle of trying to get the digital antennas working and where to place that on a wall. So it's like a new game. So instead of fiddling with the thing on top of the TV, it's the someone hollering like, "Does it look good now?" as you're holding it up against the wall in a particular place. Like, so it's
Yes, and remember, you're actually exerting an electromagnetic force on that because you're touching it, and that's going to change when you get your hand off of it.
Right, so you like try and like pin it a little bit. Yeah, it's like it was a fun game. Voltron, best cartoon ever.
There you go.
Other than Ren and Stimpy and Pinky and the Brain.
I don't know what the best cartoon. I like the original Scooby Doo, like Margaret said.
Scooby Dooby Doo.
Best song.
Where are you?
I've got a
It was
CD
funny.
that's Saturday morning cartoons. It's great.
CD.
Look at that.
The Arabian Nights.
How many pop references can you get into a children's show?
I hated Land of the Lost, and my sister
God.
loved that.
But it still dragged me in. I still watched it because it was like, what?
No.
But later on in my teen years, there was always Electra Woman and Diner Girl.
I remember that. Remember Shazam?
Yes.
And which really should have been called Captain Marvel, and Isis. But
They're not quite as old, but a remake that they're not a remake, but they remastered Babylon 5. That's on HBO Max.
Yes,
right now.
I started watching it. I still have not been able to get through The Gathering because other shows have come on that I watch. But
They did a really good job with the remastering. I'm impressed. Unfortunately, because of all the stuff, it's in 4:3. So all of us with widescreen TVs are going to have the bars on the side. It's only distracting the first couple minutes. You get over it.
But it's just the shows. It's not any of the movies that go in between the seasons.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's
it is.
Oh, that's what it is?
Okay. Yeah, it is. It's just the seasons. It's not any of the movies that go in between.
Well, hopefully this will have a good adoption, and they'll go do that next.
Yeah. Tim, do you have any idea when those shows are going to drop on Netflix for the He-Man?
No, they've been asking Kevin like constantly on it, like when it's going to be. They haven't even released trailers or anything yet, and they're keeping like what his show is looking like a little bit. Though I have seen maybe 1 or 2 clips of it. It looks close to it, but it's not the same animation, but it looks close to that stuff. And then the other He-Man one is supposed to be like a anime type.
Okay.
The sword looks weird.
He-Man.
As if the 2002 version of Masters Universe wasn't a weird sword as is.
Well, when they started doing the weird animation before they started doing like the Steven Universe for Thundercats.
Oh, good Lord.
I hated that. I absolutely hated it. Did not like it whatsoever.
Nope. I didn't like that the second Thundercats. The third one, I won't even watch.
Yeah.
Cows of the Moo Mesa. All of a sudden, it just popped in my head. I remember Morgan watched that, something called Cat Dog and Ed, and Eddie.
The B5 movie.
B5. Oh, Babylon 5.
I don't really remember them individually, Mike Watkins. Because the first time I watched Babylon 5 was a friend was thoroughly appalled that I had not seen them, and so he just like handed them all to me, like, watch them. They're in the correct order. Just go. Let me know when you're done. I want to talk about this. I'm like, all right, fine. And so I did. So the movies were just long episodes to me because I was told to watch this in a certain order, and I did.
Right.
I mean,
Margaret, are you talking about the new Netflix version of Voltron that they did?
yeah, I haven't checked that out yet.
That's
That would
good.
be
I
the
watched
There,
that.
there was one way back there.
That was like the third version of Voltron, ain't it?
Third or fourth, because I know that they did Voltron 3D for
And
Third
they did the
Dimension.
one that was kind of continuance of the original.
Yeah.
I like how she thinks that the raising hand's going to help, but we'll just keep talking now.
Yes, Kim.
Well, I'm trying.
Right.
I was just going to say good night because I'm falling asleep. But thank you for having me on, Justin. It was nice seeing all you
You're
gentlemen
welcome,
again.
Kim. Thank you for coming
Thank
on.
I'm
Have a
gonna
good night,
go
Kim.
wash my face and hit the bed, so I could go
Kim.
argue at the Hyundai tomorrow.
Yeah, Kim, I'll send you a link on Sunday for the quiz.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
it's fun.
right.
Yeah.
I
There's a
will.
quiz,
If
John?
I'm not there, it's because I'll be doing something for mom and dad.
No, that comes
You
first.
know.
We understand that.
Mother can't get onto her computer or something like that. It's how it always is.
Yeah, don't worry.
Good night.
Good night.
Kim.
That's you guys. Good night.
Good night, Greg.
Not great.
Oh, now the great falling out here.
Right?
Yeah. All right, break
Well, I
it
guess I'm around for
loose.
this much longer.
No worries. No worries. I was about to call it anyways.
Oh, that's fine.
Surprised we did really well, going almost 2 hours without the great feudalist leader.
Don't tell him
Everybody
that.
likes us more.
Oh.
Not really.
Well,
but
when he's around, we're still over 20 viewers. We're at 17 right now, but I'll take that.
you know what, though? At least we didn't have to deal with Russell tonight, though. So
Oh,
But
Oh,
Russell's in
oh.
the background, and he can come up at any time.
there's a spot right over here. I mean, you can go in between me and Jeremy.
We have heard from him. We saw him pop up there.
Yes.
Go on screen.
I was playing that one off and trying to challenge it, but to get on here, but no, okay.
I liked how they did that version of Voltron, Margaret. What really took me by surprise was the big ship at the end also converted. And it was a good addition. It wasn't just the 5 main lions fighting the Roe Beast. It actually had assistance. Reminded me of the Vehicle Force Voltron that they did. There was only 52 episodes of them. And last I checked, all 52 episodes were up on YouTube that you
I
can
need to look
watch.
that one up then, because I don't think I saw that one that she was talking about.
It's on Netflix, and it's a Netflix original.
That's why, because I know I didn't watch that one yet. Okay, I'll try.
Yeah, it's really good. I enjoyed it. But
I think I'm about ready to bug out too.
yeah, I'm gonna call it. Tonight we were joined by Brigadier General Jeremy Karsten, Fleet Captain John Hardy, Colonel Tim Johns of the 213th Marine Strike Group, and Lieutenant Junior Grade Drew Maeurer of the USS Haven. Everybody stay safe. When it's your time for your COVID shots, please go get it. Help get the herd, whatever they are calling it, the herd immunity to COVID. Let's stay safe. And remember, as always, live long and prosper.